to us now.
Yes, thank you so much for asking this, because I feel that self-growth and self-learning is started with the very first breath we take on this world, because this whole world is about how much we learn and grow. The life is all about this. Yes, but the deliberately choosing to be more in self-growth and learning is a different thing. Because that learning process started when I take that first breath on this world, but
Beena,
deliberately, yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you start again, Daniela? Can you start again?
Okay.
Yeah, it just went live actually in the group now. There was a bit of delay. So
Okay.
just repeat what you said, Daniela. Just your
Yes,
introduction.
please.
Yes. Okay, great. So hi everyone. It's a joy
Hello.
to be here with Sil and Beena. And this is our second live on Facebook, our second meeting, right? And we are planning to make a habit out of this, right? So stay tuned. This is just the second one, and there are so many other kind of similar sessions to come, right?
Yes.
So today we do have a very strong topic that Beena, who is one of the administrators of the self-awareness, self-discovery, self-improvement Facebook group that you're part of. She would like to talk about this subject that is very dear to her heart. But first of all, we would like to find out a little bit more about herself. Who is Beena? What she's doing, and how did she decided to start this self-development journey. So, Beena, you have the scene.
Okay. Thank you so much, Daniela, and thank you so much, Sil. First, thank you so much for actually making this group session. This is so wonderful, because I see a lot of people and all our participants, which I call them family members now, they get such a value and they add such a value into the group. So thank you so much for doing this. And thank you, Daniela. Thank you so much for being such a kind and generous host. So, and thank you for doing this. I'm really looking forward for in the future to have these type of sessions, and or other participants also in that. The question is, who am I? I'm Beena. Beena said, as you all know that. And I'm from Pakistan, Karachi, Pakistan. And I'm admin of this group also, the team we have. And I'm also a co-facilitator in the Way of Impeccability and Moreness project with Sil, who is the founder of this group. And also he is the main facilitator and the creator of this program. So I'm doing this for last 2 years. I'm in Way of Impeccability. I started as a post-beta tester, and then I become part of it. You cannot, once you get in, you cannot get out of this learning and growing and all that. So this process, as you guys were discussing last time, that how this actually started, I feel that the learning process started when you take your first breath on this planet Earth, the very first breath, because life is all about learning and growing. We do that without even noticing that. We do learn and grow every single time without being conscious of. So that was started from the very first breath, but the deliberately choosing that, how to do that, it was not clear in my mind that what I'm looking for, but it was a continuous journey from my teenage, I guess. But I was not aware of it clearly that what I'm looking for, because normal mundane things were not really attracting me. And I was feeling misfit in many situations around me and also on internet. When I came here, I feel more comfortable, more at home, because luckily I found such an amazing people around me, and they just helped me grow, learn more and more and more. But the formally, which I can say that I was completely into being completely aware of that what I'm doing, it started when I choose this Way of Impeccability. Sil made a post in the group and he asked for post beta testers, and I said, okay, I'm in. And if, of course, it's a very expensive, because very sophisticated and a very long program. So it is a very expensive course. And I said, no, I cannot afford this. And he says that, okay, there are many ways to do that. And he was so keen. He is still, this is so amazing that the very first day we communicate till now, his energy level is same. his way of being is same, which is such an amazing thing to see that in a person. And I started that, and that the day till now, this is my life every single day and night and every single time. Learning and growing cannot happen till you actually surrender yourself. I know that we don't use this word surrender very often, but in learning and growing, you have to do this. You have to actually get married with that, live with that all the time, share everything with that. And it happens. It seems like a work or a kind of like a responsibility. But once you actually feel that you want to do this for yourself and yourself, I'm just saying it again to make it really obvious. Once you decide that you are going to do this for yourself, everything changes. No more responsibility, no more stress, no more burden, because it's all about you. Who is more deserving of your time and energy and dedication and commitment other than you, yourself? And this is the most amazing and the obvious sign for me for the self-love. We all look for self-love, that okay, I want to love myself more. How can you love yourself more if you are not committed to your personal growth and learning?
Exactly.
The world is such a vast and varied place.
Yes.
Every single person, every single situation is having value to give you something to learn and grow. And if we are not committed, if we are not always on toes to learn and grow and grab the opportunity and commit ourselves to it, we cannot love ourselves. This is the only way to love yourself, to commit and dedicate yourself about your self-learning and growth. So my journey started in a very haphazard way, you can say that, because it was started from the very first breath, and then it becomes an informal way. I was not aware that what I'm looking for, but I was feeling misfit. I was always trying to understand that how things are, deeper things, and we can say that a different view of world I was always looking for. And when I joined this, and then it becomes, I'm not saying that particularly to this way of impeccability only. People who are committed to any kind of, wherever they found value, wherever they feel that they are, they see some value in it. We need commitment, we need dedication. And in this commitment and dedication, sorry to say, we assume that it is to the program or the course or the coach or the book. No, it is commitment and dedication towards yourself. And this is the self-love we have.
Yes, perfectly said. Thank you, Beena, for sharing these wonderful thoughts with us. Yes, Sil, you wanted to add something?
I just wanted to ask Beena about Sophie. And Donna's joining us. Brilliant. But we keep going. Donna will just listen, and she'll join in when she needs to join in. It's brilliant.
Great.
Hello, Donna.
Great.
Glad you're here, Donna. Magical. Fantastic.
Good.
So Daniela, ask Beena about Sophie.
To ask her about Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Sophie? Beena?
How does it fit in with what Beena was saying? Oh, Beena, we lost the connection with Beena. Oh dear.
We lost the connection.
Beena will be back in a moment. So Donna also helps to facilitate sometimes. Donna's also been in the way of impeccability for a long time. Also admin in the group. Donna is most magical. So this is most exciting, Donna. It's a great treat that you come to join us. It's very cool.
Good morning.
But just keep. Oh, good morning, Donna. You haven't met Daniela yet, so there you go, Donna, Daniela. Hello.
Hi, Donna.
Hello.
Brilliant.
How are you?
Brilliant. So while we wait for Beena, Beena's connection sometimes drops where she's at. So that's likely what happened. She'll be back as soon as she can. But in the meantime, just keep going, Daniela. I think you may have some other more general overall questions that you are keen to discuss or points to discuss.
Yeah, so maybe we can make a debrief perhaps on our discussion last week. We've been talking a little bit about motivation, what keeps us engaged, what gives us that energy, that commitment to stay on the path of self-development. And of course, it's a little bit different for all of us, right? We do need to find our own inner motivation, what keeps us up and running, what gives us enough energy to stay on the path of self-development, self-improvement, and self-awareness, right? And we had a very nice discussion with Sil last week when he shared his opinion on that, and he actually concluded with a very strong argument saying that whatever you're choosing, choose one single step, one single thing that you can do as of today. So for everyone that is listening to us now, perhaps this is a message that we want to pass it out there, right?
Yeah.
We have this tendency as human beings to complicate things now and then, right? And we find ourselves on the path of self-discovery, perhaps finding a lot of roadblocks that we want to cross and we have no idea how. And also due to our curiosity, sometimes we go in so many directions and we are starting a lot of things, but we are unable to finish them. So this is again why focusing on one single direction for a period of time to see if that helps you connect with yourself to a more deeper and profound state of being. If that works for you, go with it. If not, change it, right? But don't start too many things in a short period of time, because that just won't work, right?
Yeah.
So Sil, if you have anything else to add, something that you believe it's important to bring today as well, yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. So when we're looking at self-improvement, self-awareness, self-discovery, and we really look carefully, sometimes we like, oh, what a big job. It's like, oh, I've got to change everything. It's like, oh, I'll never do it. It'll take forever, blah, blah. And we get discouraged because sometimes it is a big task. But here's the key point. One step at a time. That's what you're mentioning, right? That's what we were discussing last week. Do it one step at a time. One step is easy. Anybody can take one step. It's not a problem. Now, here's the key. Let's say you wanted to do something really big, like, for instance, walk around the world. How long does this take? I looked it up. People who've walked around the world, on average, it takes about 4 years. Which means to get to the other side of the world will take 2 years. So that's a hell of a big job. You would think, okay, to walk to the other side of the world, 2 years. Is that impossible? No, it's not impossible. It's very possible. And you're doing it by walking one step at a time. Now, that doesn't mean it's not a theoretical number that you're walking 24 hours. This is in actuality, including sleep and meals and all other stuff like that, right? But you're just walking. So, in other words, to get to the other side of the world, which is a really big accomplishment, by walking, 2 years. One step at a time. Yeah. I'm making the point that, you think these things are impossible and they're not doable, but they are. And that's linear. That's one step, one step, one step. When it comes to learning, especially in personal growth and development, and Donna and Beena will absolutely attest to this, the learning comes to be exponential, right? Donna, Beena, when you guys started, in the beginning, when we were doing Wave Impeccability, there was so much going on. And I changed my background every day now, but I left this one up just for this reason, because this is all about connectivity. And as we progressed, things started to connect more. And then all of a sudden, it all started filling in. And you saw all those connections. And it was like, wow, your mind blew open. Yeah, and it was all exciting when we saw all how everything connected. Right, Donna? You remember that? When that connectivity all put in together. But this is because learning is exponential, not linear. It multiplies. It doesn't just add. So in learning, we actually get to the other side of the world a lot quicker, even by doing one step at a time. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Sil. That was a really nice summary of what we have discussed last Friday. But Beena, great to have you back online.
Yeah, so sorry, my network was dropped. So
no problem, it happens. So on the same topic, Beena, perhaps you can tell us what motivates you, what moves you, right? Because we started a little bit with some details about yourself, and just to make a link between our discussion and you coming back online, perhaps you can share with the audience how you find your motivation and what really moves you to stay on the path of self-development.
I personally, for me, I'm not sure about others, but for me, motivation comes from inside. And when it comes, when you feel uncomfortable, misfit, not satisfied in your surroundings, in your situation. When I was not feeling, when I have this, okay, not clear at that time, but when I had this understanding that whatever I'm having right now is not enough. I need more in life. I was not clear in these words. I'm mentioning it again because this clarity comes after joining this program. But I was not satisfied, that's for sure. And when I'm not satisfied in my surrounding, in my situation, in my way of being, then definitely there is something I need to do about this. Then I don't need any motivation. When I'm not feeling comfortable in any situation, I don't need anyone to pull me out. If someone do that, that will be great. But if not, the motivation from external side is, I'm using it as an example that someone is pulling you out of your uncomfortable situation. If this thing happened, this is a blessing. But if it doesn't, still, I will do everything to get out of that situation. I will try to jump or whatever it will take. I will try to do that. And motivation is something, if we just keep looking from outside, we have to wait for that. Luckily, we don't have to wait because there are tons of projects and programs and courses and coaches available outside, but we still don't do that. People are willing to help us out, to assist us in our learning and growing, but still we don't do that. This is the lack of commitment and this is lack of dedication, which I feel that they are comfortable. They are not really understanding their situation. Because if you are not willing to get out of that situation, it means that you are comfortable there. You are satisfied with who you are, what you are doing. And if you're satisfied, no one, no matter how profound a coach is, how profound a program is, no one is going to help you out. Because you feel that I worth this. I deserve only this. And this is not self-love again. If you really value yourself, if you love yourself, you will definitely try everything to improve your surrounding, your life, your situations. And every opportunity, when life gives me that opportunity, I literally grab it with my teeth. That was the opportunity. I give my life to that. Because this is not like an everyday thing that things happen and you got an opportunity. No. But if you really see the value, I don't know how people just leave it like that. When they see the value, they are getting things free, absolutely free, and a dedicated person involved in that. And still, they just say, okay, I'm having this situation, I'm having this, and I will do this later. It means that you don't love yourself. You don't want to improve. Or, sorry to say, it's a very harsh word. Otherwise, you have your ego very big, that you think that, oh, I know what is going on. I know what I can do. But there is always more. There is always more. Even the coach who is trying to coach you or give you something and share with you, he or she is still learning and growing every single day. So please, for me, self-love is all about learning and growing. If you love yourself, and if you want to show that you love yourself, please try to improve your situation. Grab every single opportunity.
Yes. Thanks, Beena. I really love your energy, your passion. I mean, clearly you are speaking from a point of inner motivation everywhere that you said. Yes, that's really nice, and I really hope that your words will go out there to as many people as possible. Great.
I want to
So
add something. I want to add something
yes,
really quickly, just in response to a comment about getting started. This is the important point in motivation and in learning and in growing and pretty much anything. This starting is the issue. Here's something to keep in mind, especially like we said, getting to the other side of the world, or doing something huge, a big project. That one step at a time. Just find something that's easy and simple to do. Here's something important to keep in mind. When we look at an exponential graph, right, it's kind of a flat line. It rises gradually, and then suddenly it kind of kicks up and it becomes that steep upslope, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like exponential. Like if you go,
Yes.
1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 132, etc. And it goes slowly at first, and it goes gradually up, and then suddenly it kicks up. This is exactly what happens when we embark on a big project, especially something huge and life-changing, like changing yourself and really changing your whole life. Be aware that it will seem slow in the beginning, seem slow. So and all the stuff is coming on, and there's a lot of stuff, and you're going to feel overwhelmed and you don't know what's going on. But just trust that it's going to fall into place, and at some point it starts to get exponential, and then it all clicks and falls into place and stuff like wow, and then you feel those leaps and bounds that come from little by little. So little by little leads to leaps and bounds. But you got to persist in the beginning to get through that slow period until it all starts to connect and fall into place. And very much like children, before they start talking, right? Anybody who's had kids, been around little kids, knows they're talking, they know a few words, and then all of a sudden, come around about 2 years old, boom, it all explodes and they can't stop talking, and they know how to speak. They can just speak, right? It's because they've been accumulating all those words and understandings and the grammar and all of the stuff, and it all suddenly falls into place and they can speak like crazy. So this is the same thing with learning. The brain takes a while to put things together, but after a while, when it has enough pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, it puts them into place and you can see the picture. Even though it's not complete, you can see the picture. So just keep going in the beginning, even though it's slow. That's the point I'm trying to make. Very, very, very important.
Great. So we're starting to receive comments. That's really,
so John says,
really nice.
Yeah. They say that nobody's lazy, only that their ability to express it is blocked.
Yes.
Yeah. We're talking about motivation. And this came up yesterday with somebody I was chatting with, in terms of effort reward. This is a big deal. So if you're not motivated, look closely at what it is that you want to do and how much effort you think is involved. Typically, we don't do because we think there's too much effort for the reward. Now, if this is something that's really rewarding, then reconsider your perception and your belief of the effort that's involved. Typically, we tend to overestimate the effort, and precisely for the reasons that I've mentioned, because we think it's going to go one step, and it's going to take 2 years, when, okay, you can get a long way in 2 years. So first of all, we have to be aware that literally walking just a literal step, it doesn't take that much to get to some really, really far away, opposite end of the world. But when it comes to learning, it might seem the same way. Oh, I have to deal with this issue. Oh, I have to deal that way. And you believe the effort is much greater than it actually is, because it's very difficult for the mind to imagine exponential learning. It can picture linear learning and sees this big thing, but it can't picture exponential learning all that well. So this is really, really, really potent. So when we do this and we pay attention to this, okay, Donna, no problem. Donna just said she's going to watch. So this is very, very important for our motivation to recalibrate and recalculate and understand that that energy and that effort that we think is what's needed for the reward is actually a lot less. This is very key. Furthermore, if we start, and this is the way to deal with overwhelm as well, start with doing something that's simple and easy, and then repeat. Literally, want to get to the other side of the world, what can you do that's very simple and easy? Well, take one step. That's it. That's all you got to do. One single step. Then you do it again. That's again. All you're doing is taking one step. This is literally what people mean by saying do one step at a time, because one step is easy. In your mind, you are doing something that's easy and simple, and therefore we are motivated. Oh, I can do this. This is easy. One step, one step, one step, one step. It's very simple. So do this with any big project you tackle. Find the simplest, easiest thing you can do and do that, and then repeat. But start new. Don't picture the whole thing. Just do the one step. Yes, Beena, you wanted to add something.
Yes, because last time we discussed it, that one step at a time, and this is what actually needed. I feel that the mostly, not always, but mostly problem starts with after taking that one step. We join something, we commit to something, and after that, we don't follow up that. We actually don't commit ourselves to do that. And I feel that the decision, if we need something when we are making a decision towards about anything, like joining some program, some challenges, or whatever it is, or start reading a book even. We started with passion and excitement, and then we lose that. So it's not about making it a start or doing something about that. We do that, and quite often we do that. I'm quite sure that everybody has some sort of pending projects in their file that, okay, oh, I started this in past, and okay, this one also, but we never pursue that. So the problem is not starting about how to start that. We all almost at some point we all start something, but to pursue the commitment, the dedication, and my understanding about this procrastination, laziness, or not pursuing thing, it means that it is the very, very obvious sign for me that what you are doing, you don't feel that it is connected to you. You don't see that value. Otherwise, there is no way you can leave things like that.
Yes.
Like I get inspired by the moment. I said like, oh yes, this is so exciting, though so beautiful, so much value in that. I don't pay much attention to that, like what really is. And after joining that, I said, oh no. And the second thing is, again, I know all. This is the problem, because whenever we join some program, start reading some book, we start thinking like, okay, oh, I know that because we know all the terms. This is really a big problem, because even when we go to the doctor, we start using all our internet and information and knowledge about that. Okay, I know about this, I know about this, I know about this. And really, I see that doctors feel so irritated that if you know everything, why don't you just cure yourself, go? Because you are telling me all the cool terms, all the buzzwords about, and it happens with self-learning and learning and growth also. When we come to any program, our mind start telling us that, oh, I know that. I know that. And if you know that, why are you not doing this? The problem is that why you were not doing this. So, but this is the problem. And I feel that in that case, the receptivity comes really, really huge. It becomes huge. Because when I'm here right now in this moment and I'm sharing something and I want to improve myself, I need to be really thorough before choosing anything. Do your work, do your homework, research everything about that. And once you make a decision, please respect your decision, not the coach, not the book, not the program, nothing. Respect your decision. You made that decision to choose that, to do this. It's all about you. It's all about me. When I make, that's why I'm standing by this thing that I made this decision to join this. And I really respect my decisions. I need to, because these are my choices, which are the building blocks of my character. So when I'm making some deliberate choices, okay, we have a huge detail about that in the program, but okay, just to say it in very as minimum words as I can. My choices, my deliberate choices are the building blocks of my character. My choices makes me who I am. And if I am deliberately choosing something, I need to give due respect, not to the book, not to the material, not to the content, not to the coach even, to myself, my decision, my choice. Please love yourself and please respect yourself. Make impeccable choices, deliberate choices, and after that, just rolling it like, okay, putting in the back shelf and all these things. No. these were my choices. I need to give respect, due respect to my choices.
Yes.
And this is what I'm doing. And when we respect ourselves, we respect our choices. And when we respect our choices, we make more better decision in our life. And that's why we were discussing about the self-conception and coming to that point that I have this self-conception, if I truly have that I am an impeccable person. Or just to say in very simple word, a layman word, that I'm a good person. Typically, I'm a good person. I try to be a good person. When I'm a good person, how can I disrespect my choices? How can I disrespect my time and energy?
Exactly.
How can I do this? So the self-conception, please be clear about your self-conception. Just take one thing, that you are a good human being. And what makes a good human being? A person who make good, deliberate choices. Yes, things can go bad in any situation. We can be wrong. We can make wrong decisions. No problem with that. But our intent was good.
Exactly.
We were trying to be good about this. And this is what really counts.
Yeah.
Sorry?
That intent to goodness. I was just emphasizing your point.
Yes, the intent to goodness. So when I'm this self-conception that it's a very basic, simple concept. And we all carry that I am a good human being. Typically, I'm a good human being. Inherently, I'm a good human being. So yes, I made some mistake in my life. Yes, things happened and I was not really good one and that I was not really nice. But yes, my intent was good. I was trying to be good, but yes, things were not good at that time. I was not able to do that. I was not aware of that situation completely. So yes, we all make some bad choices and bad decisions in our life, but it doesn't make us a bad person because our intent was good. We were trying to be good. So just one self-conception. If I have this understanding that I'm a good person, how can I not respect myself? How can I not respect my decision in life? Just take one concept about yourself, who you are, and just please follow that. Just give due respect to your self-conception.
Right. It's not just who you are, because we're unaware, we're ignorant, and we know we don't know, and we think this makes us bad because we do stupid things, we do foolish things, we're nincompoops.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't. It's just that we're ignorant and we're unaware, which is exactly the reason why self-improvement and self-awareness and self-discovery is so important, because it's to connect that intent to be good with actually learning and growing and applying and adding more. Yes, this is very important. Very, 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 very important. Very, very important.
Absolutely, it is important.
I want to touch onto something that we were saying, because we're talking about motivation. And the key with motivation is to sustain it, because we can be all motivated, but then we get going and it's like, or we don't get going. And like we said, so first we want to look at the balance between effort and reward. Is the effort worth the reward? Sorry, is the reward worth the effort, right? So we might be put off because we think the effort is too much. But we looked at that and we said, well, sometimes we over-imagine the effort. It seems like a lot, but because of exponential learning, it's actually a lot less effort than we imagine. Furthermore, that effort isn't actually as much effort, because really it's quite a lot of fun once you really start learning and growing and discovering.
Exactly.
It's a tremendous joy. So the effort goes down tremendously and the motivation increases. But now let me ask you something, Beena. When you started, right, did you imagine the rewards to be as incredible as they have been and are now?
No.
You had no clue.
No.
You had no clue.
No.
Wow. So, you were so excited when we started. You were literally jumping up and down on your bed because of the whole Sophie story. Right?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
a little bit. It's a long story, and maybe another time we'll get into this, just in terms of stuff working in a way that blows your mind. But the rewards, you knew self-improvement and learning and growing, this was a profound thing. And when you started in the program, you were really, really excited. But the rewards that you have received and are receiving and are applying and living are way more than you imagined.
Way much more than what I was expecting.
Exactly. So when we look at this balance between effort and reward, we say, we talk about to get motivated. And you say, well, I don't know, it's the rewards. They might be nice, but the effort is so big. Well, no. Realize that the rewards are much, much bigger than you can imagine. And the effort is actually a lot less because it's fun and it's exciting and it's just fascinating. And once you start on this, there's nothing more potent than you connecting to real you. That's the path. That's the journey. So be really clear here. It's you connecting to real you, to your deeper inner essence, no matter what you're doing. And if you focused on self-improvement and self-awareness and self-discovery to learn more about self, know who you really are, you're connecting to your real you. You're connecting to what you imagine you would like to be. And that's not a fantasy thing. You would like to be a good person. You just don't know how. That's it. Very simple. So as you learn and grow, you discover more and more how. So you get motivated by the process. I want to add one more point about motivation. So, okay, you say, I can't imagine this. You can imagine the continuity and the continuation of your life as it is right now. So take what you are now, what you have now, where you are at now, and just put it into the future and say, okay, when you get to the end of your life and you look back, and you say, that point, I had a chance to kind of learn and grow and I didn't take it. Are you going to be happy that you continued whatever you have now, which is, there's more. So are you going to be happy continuing with the less that you have now? No, most people not. They're not really satisfied. They're not really enjoying themselves. They're not content. They're not fulfilled. They don't live in joy. They don't live deliberately. They don't live with purpose and meaning and significance. So just figure this. What is the price that you pay for not doing so?
Exactly.
Cost. Yes. What's
exactly.
the price? People ask me sometimes, how much is the program? I say, you know what? The price is the cost of the rest of your life. That's what the price is. It's a very steep price. Not doing costs you the rest of your life. Is this a price you're prepared to pay? I'm not trying to advocate the program here, just to be clear. It's just an example that comes up, right? I mean, yes. So it's any program, doesn't matter whose program. Anytime you're on a journey of learning and growing, you've got to consider the cost of not doing it. And just in general, to be motivated about doing the things that you kind of know you feel that you would like to do when it comes to learning and growing, but maybe you put off because you don't think the reward is worth the effort. This is a very big point to me. Me personally, sorry, I'm not willing to live in ignorance or unawareness or live with nonsense. For instance, like living with stuff like that you want to be a bit more patient, you want to be less irritable. I'm not willing to live with that irritation and annoyance that became a habit at some point in my life. No, I got to do something about it. I don't want to live with that nonsense in my life. So this is a very, very powerful motivator. If we can't imagine the rewards, at least you know what you have now. That for me, not willing. Sorry. Very powerful motivation.
Great.
Yeah.
It is.
But
I would have a question.
Georgianne, wake up. Georgianne said she fell back asleep. Oh, not you. Oh, the Lord fell back asleep. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought he said you fell back asleep.
You were saying something, Daniela?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, so I would like to link a little bit the two concepts that we've been jumping from one to another in our discussion. So motivation and self-concept. This is a question for you, Beena. So to what extent do you believe that self-concept, which is this system of strong beliefs that we hold about ourselves, so to what extent self-concept influences our motivation and how we remain committed to ourselves and to our self-development? If you can elaborate your perspective on that a bit.
Yes, I can share what I feel about that. So the self-conception is what we personally, privately call ourselves. We have, unfortunately, mostly we have negative self-concepts like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm not willing, okay, I'm not able, and all these things. And mostly when we say that I'm not able, it's all about very tiny little technical things, like in case of joining some course. After that, when we start doing that course and we say, oh, we get started with all the excitement and energy and willingness and all these things. And suddenly we say, no, yes, I will do that later. I just missed that. Why we miss that? Because the tiny little technical things, when a person asking you to do, okay, in our case, I have only this example, so I cannot share with other, you might also have that doing repeat backs and takeaways. It seems a big stress on people because they feel that it is unnecessary. And that's where the lack of trust comes in, because I don't trust the person completely and entirely who designed this program. If you are trusting someone, please do it as he or she is asking you and sharing with you, because they have designed these things for the purpose. And if you are not trusting that person, please leave that course immediately, because you are not trusting them. But if you are trusting, if you are willing to invest your energy, time, and money and everything into that, so please follow that, because this lack of trust, like, okay, I'm trusting you to give me something, but I'm not trusting you to do anything for you. This is something really amazing. And mostly we lose our motivation because of some technical discipline needed for that. I'm calling it technical discipline because making notes, it becomes a big deal. If you are asking me to make notes and I was like, okay, what I was like, how can I share? If you're asking me to come on Facebook and share my things, oh no, I cannot do this. These are the technical details. Make your notes and make your notes proper. I was not like this. I suffered that a lot. I'm not saying that, okay, I was the one who always, no, I'm still working on my notes because I was not doing that. But fortunately, I didn't lose my motivation because of that.
Yeah.
So, but it's very rare. It's very rare, believe me. When we lose this technical details, it's like doing your homework in the school. You actually got the result at the end of the year, you see that, oh my God. Just because that, you might be the most intelligent student in the class, but because we were not trusting that these exercises has some value. So please, if you are doing something, please do that as it is suggested, because otherwise you will lose your motivation. The pile of work, the pending work will drain out your energy big time, and you will lose all your motivation. So the first thing is about how the self-concept actually, because privately, if I'm continuously talking to myself that, oh, I'm not able to, or I'm just saying that I know it all. If I'm saying that, if I have the self-concept that I'm the one who know everything in the world, how can anything or anyone can share anything with me when I already have the full vessel? When I'm saying that, this is the self-concept I have. Oh, I know everything. If my vessel is filled, if my glass is already filled, how can anyone give me something more? It's not going to work. So we need to have the appropriate, precise self-conception about ourselves, because it actually affects so much more than what we imagine even. But I'm saying that about myself, it is going to affect every single action in my life, because it is going to be my intent. If I know what you are talking about. This is the behavior I had before joining this way of impeccability. And I see in my friends also that, oh, I know what you are talking about. I'm not stupid. I know. When you have this self-conception that you know it all, you are saying that to universe that my glass is already full. So sorry, universe have a lot of other people with empty glasses, and the universe is going to fill there, not yours. So the self-conception is a big deal, because this is how we introduce ourselves to the universe, to the force, or to the any energy or power or God you have a faith in. My self-conception is my introduction to not only to myself, but to the universe also.
There you go.
So when I'm calling
I really like that.
Yes,
that's really powerful, Beena.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I'm introducing myself to the universe that I'm a lazy person. The universe said, okay, universe will take care of you. You are lazy, please go ahead and rest. I'm not going to give you anything.
So how can we, sorry to interrupt, how can we perhaps tweak this self-conception that we hold about ourselves, right? Because that's the interesting part. We are bringing with us so many beliefs from the past, right? So how can we tweak it What
Yes.
and what is a better mindset that we can present ourselves in front of us and the universe, how you beautifully put it.
Let me
So
just
the
add quickly a question from the group. That's the same question as Daniela's asking. Marcel is asking, can you give some advice on how to empty our glass, please, Beena? Same
yes,
thing.
okay. It is not advice. I'm sharing. So I'm not here to give any advice. So please just tweak here that I'm sharing what I have learned so far. The first thing is that to have a precise self-conception. And to have a precise self-conception, we need to be really honest with ourselves. And honesty doesn't mean that I need to count all my negatives, all my flaws, because this is what we do. When it comes to be honest, I start saying, oh, I was feeling jealous with someone, so I'm a jealous person. Oh, I was not feeling confident at that time. It means that I have lack of confidence. Oh, I was not really good with that. I was mean. When it comes to be honest with ourselves, mostly we start with all the negatives because we are good people. We want to be really good. So we all do that. All the negatives. Sorry. But if you are a good person, if you were trying to be good and you are saying that, oh, I'm not a good person, this is also dishonesty. This is also a dishonesty with yourself, with the universe, because you were a good person, but you were not accepting it. So for me, the first thing, to be really honest with yourself. And being honest means to accept and acknowledge all your positive, negatives, whatever it is. Just acknowledge that. That yes, I am a good person. Yes, I was fumbling at the time. Yes, I was not really what I was trying to do. Okay, I made some bad choices, but I was trying to be good and all these things. And counting and acknowledging all your positives and negatives at the same time is the self-honesty. And this is the key for your self-concept. So be really honest with yourself first and count negative and positive both. I'm trying to emphasize more and more on that because this is really what I observe, and I for myself also, that yes.
If you were to emphasize one thing, sorry, before you continue, on this point of emphasis, and you personally, I'm aware that you did emphasize this, and that one thing that you emphasized above all else is the fact that you can learn.
Exactly.
This is the point that you emphasized over and over again. That's the way you emptied your glass of all the doubts and uncertainties. And all the things
yes. Yes, I'm coming to this. I'm coming. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Thank you so much for doing that. So first thing for me is self-honesty. And again, self-honesty means counting and acknowledging all the positives and negatives precisely. The second thing is to have the trust and understanding that whatever I have learned so far, yes, it's enough right now in this moment because I did my best, but there is always more to learn and grow. Other people who might seem very simple, not educated enough or not trained enough, but they might have something really valuable to share with you. In every situation, in every relationship, in every learning and growing process, there is always more. And when I have this understanding that there is always more, what I have learned so far, it's enough right now in this moment. I did my best to learn, and I did my best to be good and impeccable. But I'm not saying that I'm the only authority here. I'm saying that universe has more. Different people might have more brilliant ideas about that. They might have more brilliant understanding about that. So when I'm saying that there is always more, I'm telling universe that yes, right now in this moment, whatever you said, blessed me with is amazing, but I can have more. I can learn more. I can have more, I can learn more. And this is how it makes your glass at least half full and half empty. To give universe, this is how we create a space. When I'm telling you, Daniela, that, oh, I'm full. Okay, oh, sorry, I cannot. No matter how much delicious food you have prepared for me, how can you offer me? Because I'm telling you, oh, I'm already full. Oh, I know, I was eating all these things. But when I say that, oh yes, I had lunch, but definitely I'm going to try because there is always more. I want to try your thing. This is how we communicate with universe. So first thing is having a precise self-concept. The second thing is having this understanding always in forefront of our consciousness that there is always more.
Yes. Let's make another quick
Indeed,
point.
it is.
Yes.
In terms of emptying the glass and the self-conception, to say if your conception, dishonesty, is only focused on your negative qualities, this is not accurate. So be accurate, right? You might not be aware of your positive qualities, and you might say, "Oh, I need to learn." Yes, focus on that. And the other thing is, you have a desire and intent to be good. Focus on that primarily, because this is going to empty the glass. It's a massive counterbalance. Yes, you can make a long list of all your supposed negative qualities, but they don't really overwhelm you because, well, you are here still and you are trying to learn and grow. That's the counterbalance. So understand your intent. But I want to make a bigger point here. When it comes to really, really learning and growing, let's just take this, what usually happens. We try to fix our problems. Is this really a good use of our time? Not particularly, actually a very poor usage of our time. Because when you focus on your problems, you start to emphasize it. And well, emphasis literally rewires the brain. Literally, it makes the nodes expand as nodes connect to other nodes. So when you focus on your problems, you end up rewiring your brain to pay attention to problems, notice more problems, and very soon you find yourself living in a world of problems. Now, let's just take something like, let's reverse this process and say, I want to fix my problems, but rather than focus on problems, I'm going to focus on replacement instead. So let's take something like stealing. You teach your kids, oh, don't steal. And the kid says, okay, and they don't steal. Does it make your kids nice people? Does it make them kind and courteous and considerate? No, not necessarily. All it does is, if they literally do fix this and they don't steal, it just makes them people who don't steal. However, if you teach your kids to be kind and courteous and considerate, are they going to be people who can steal? No, they cannot, right?
Yes.
So my point is, in order to fix your problems, focus on something positive that will deal with the problem automatically. So if you want to fix stealing, learn to be kind and courteous and considerate. Very simple, right? Daniela, yes? What do you think?
Yes. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Also, from my experience, perhaps I can add a little bit of an insight here. Just to add to what Beena and Yusil already mentioned, right? So for me, the distinction between my essence and my behavior was a key point, right? So to truly make the distinction that people are not their behaviors. How I acted at some point in time, how I behaved at some point in time, does not equal with my essence, with my inner self.
Yes.
Right? So that's something that we can definitely bring into practice and embedded it as a mindset in our day-to-day life, right? People are not their behaviors, and do it with yourself and with the others as well, right?
Yes. Wow. Oh, this is so huge, because this is if we keep this in mind, we always see more beyond the actions only. Like sometimes people make some mistakes and it happens. They are influenced by some situations. Sometimes situations influence them in that way that they have to do this. Sometimes it is appropriate, which might be wrong, but it is appropriate to do that for their circumstances. But their behavior does not mean that who they are. This is so huge, Daniela. Yes, absolutely.
Indeed. Yes. So Beena, because we have 5 minutes left, perhaps you can share one final thought, one final takeaway message for our audience in an effort to encourage the ladies and gentlemen that are listening to us today to continue on this path of self-development. So one last key message from your side.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, I'm here to share my journey and my understanding so far, what I have learned. It is not a lecture, it is not an advice, nothing. And I'm really thankful for Daniela, you, because you have such an openness towards like, okay, you yourself as such an amazing person, but you gave me time. So thank you so much for that. This whole process of learning and growing, it's not an easy path. We have to understand that it's not an easy path, because there will be the time when we have to actually let go of our all the beliefs and understandings which we were living throughout our life. Some people like, okay, after 60 years, 70 years, and they were living with the belief, but they are so open. I personally see and experience that they are in their 60s and 70s and they were living in that, but still when it comes to learning and growing, they gave up all these ideas. But it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. We have to understand this. The first thing to understand that this path has a lot more what we are expecting in terms of value and reward also, and in terms of dedication and doing also involved in that. The second thing is, whatever we are going to do in that, we are going to do this for ourselves. So there is no obligation on other people that, okay, I might start complaining that, oh, I'm suffering and I'm all these things, I'm having bad time. It's all about me. We have to take responsibility of our life and our awareness also. This responsibility is a huge deal. The second thing is that what Sil shared with me, that the learning process is not like a single linear path, like, because there are some times when you go up like this and when you fall like this, because when we fall, we have to give up a lot of before already having this understanding and conditioning from religion, from culture, from society, from our parents, from ourselves also. We assume things, I don't know how, but we assume things like, oh, this is how it is. But there is always more. The mantra is that there is always more. When there is always more, how can I be an egotistic person and be fixed on my idea that, oh, this is the ultimate thing? Whatever I'm sharing right now, this is right in this moment. This can be a totally different or maybe more into that when I will learn and grow more. So we are living. This is how we live in the moment. This is how we actually, that like all things can sum up. This is how we live in the moment now. I'm here with this understanding, with this awareness. I'm sharing what I have learned so far. You are here in this moment. We are in the process of learning and growing. This whole universe is growing every single moment, and the split of second is actually growing. How can we be static when we have moreness? So please just give yourself due respect. Give yourself due respect. You are such an amazing person. We are surviving in this world, and just by choosing, just keep this always in forefront of your consciousness. Just by choosing to be at some place where you are, where there is a chances of learning and growing, is the proof to yourself that you are a good person. You want to learn and grow, and this is enough for motivation. This is enough for motivation. When I choose to be in, like in this group or anywhere or in any program, when I'm buying some book, when I'm reading something, this is a proof that I want to learn, because I can choose to be a knucklehead, what Sil says. I can be choose to be a stupid and sleep and just doing nothing and waste my time. But you, when you are choosing this time for learning and growth, instead of going somewhere else, instead of getting involved in any kind of addiction, when you are choosing to spend your time here, this is the proof. This is right there enough to prove that you are a good person. You want to learn and grow.
Yeah.
Keep reminding yourself that I'm choosing, I'm leaving all other things behind for this. It means that I want to learn and grow.
Yeah.
And this will keep you going.
Yes.
This will keep you going all the time.
Exactly.
Indeed. It's an ongoing journey. Great. Thank you, Beena.
One quick little point before we go, Daniela. Just in terms
Sure,
of
go ahead.
motivation, to come back to our focus point and to elaborate on a point that Beena made. right? But like, for instance, doing what you need to do, doing your homework. If you're engaging on a self-investment, a self-improvement program or self-awareness, or any program, do the things that are need doing, or even if you do by yourself, do something. Here's why. When it comes to motivation, when we actually do, especially in the beginning, it's a bit, it's a hassle, it's an effort. Just commit, make that bit of discipline to overcome that hump. Once you've actually done something, you've put some time and energy in, that's an investment. And this leverages our motivation. Why? Because once we've actually put some work and effort into it, we don't want to throw that away and waste it. So then we become even more motivated. So just get going, just do. Once you've done, it'll be, the motivation will start to feed on itself. And once you get past a certain point, you can't stop, or you just continue going. It's very powerful motivation technique. Just get going, just start, just do. Yes?
Yes. So keep going. That's the main point,
get
right?
Started, get started. Yes, make that investment, but do something that initially might seem a bit stressful or unpleasant or a hassle, but know that once you get over that hump, once you've done that initial investment, it's going to start giving you more returns than you ever thought. And you'll get massive return on investment. Just do it though, even though it's not so fun if you think so. But your brain will change once you've done it. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't stay the same. Your brain changes.
Yes,
Good.
for sure.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Beena. Thank you, Sil. It was a joy.
Thank you, Daniela. Thank you so much. And thank you all the participants who were listening and sharing with us. So thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you,
And
everyone.
let's meet again next Friday.
Yes. Yes.
We will.
Okay.
We'll be here next Friday again. I just want to say one thing quickly about the comments for anybody watching this, that watching the replay. Make comments, even if you're watching a replay later. We'll respond to the comments. We'll keep an eye on them in group, and we'll leave it up there as a pin post. So we'll respond to you, even if you come later. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
The two responsible admins of the group. Thank you guys again.
Okay. Daniela.
Enjoy your day. Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye bye, everyone. Bye. All right, let's stop live stream. There we go. Hang on one second, Beena. One more.